Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to my review of Loonatics Unleashed. So there's probably a lot of you wondering, what is Loonatics Unleashed? And yeah, I hear you on that one. I never knew about the show when it was on. I heard about it through YouTube vids, like where you find all the best facts. Am I right? Am I right? Huh? Ah, yeah. Because you can believe everything on the internet, can't you? Yeah. So what is Loonatics Unleashed? Well, it's based on the Looney Tunes characters / franchise, but set in a futuristic city that was devastated by a meteor that gave certain people superpowers, including our heroes of the series. It went from 2005 to 2007 of a total of 2 seasons, with a whopping 26 episodes. Wow! Now these characters aren't exactly the ones we remember. For example, you may think that the main character is just Bugs Bunny, but no, it's Ace Bunny. You may think this is just Lola Bunny, but no, it's Lexi Bunny. And then we had Techie Coyote, Web Runner, Slam Tasmanian, and Danger Duck. These are the descendants of the characters we know. Though they do very much act the same. Duck is a joke character that gets beat around a lot, for example, and Ace does say, what's up, Duck? A lot. Not too much that it gets old though. It doesn't really ever get annoying. And so that's perfectly fine by me. So they all have different powers, and I'll go through them and the characters themselves. Ace is the leader of a group and does act like Bugs does. He loves his carrots, he loves to tease and mess with his foes. Not so much the cross-dressing side of things, besides like one episode. But he's quite smart and won't always play around too much. And he's strong of heart, and he is a master of martial arts. Fitting, since he used to be a stunt double for movies before getting his powers. Ace can shoot freaking laser beams from his eyeballs and uses martial arts skills and the Guardian Strike Sword to kick some butt. Lexi Bunny is second in command, though not much to say. She is sadly just the obligatory female of the show, which sadly happens. She doesn't really stand out amongst the other characters. She has super hearing with her big ears of hers, and ability to shoot concentrated psychic energy at her foes from the top of her head. So basically, like psychic powers she has. Next we had Techie Coyote, and he was my favourite character of the show, and I love the idea of him since he was the Donatello of the show pretty much. He is the genius that comes up with all the inventions they use throughout the entirety of the show. Which to me is hilarious, as well being a descendant of Wile E. Coyote, who used all the gadgets. Now something that was a bit different was he actually spoke. Both him and Webb both speak unlike their Looney Tune counterparts. Which isn't that odd considering the setting of the show. His powers include superhuman intelligence, being able to create magnetic pulses that allow him to levitate metallic objects, and scramble machines, and also being able to create a type of barrier with it, and has a healing ability that allows him to basically survive any explosions, aka when he gets disintegrated, like when he does in the Looney Tunes show. So this explains how, at least in this show, how he can continually survive, because he has like a healing ability. And that was kind of funny, but it was kind of like, it was like, aw, because he was like my favourite character, and I didn't like him getting disintegrated and such in it. And next we have Web Runner, who also liked a lot. Techie and Web were my favourite, and I loved when those two were put together. I totally called them a couple in this. For one episode, Web was like, I would kiss you if you were a coyote and a boy. Just rude. You totally would. Webb was a bit of a fun character who talked very fast because of his sonic speed ability. So everything to him was about speed, including his speech, so he was kind of fun like that, blurting out all sorts of things. He would just ramble on about all kinds of things, and you gotta like pay attention, because some of the things he says are actually really funny, because they will have like nothing to do with the situation or something, and it's kind of funny. His powers include sonic speed, as I said, flight because of being able to flap his wings at incredible speed, and basically a built-in GPS in his brain that allows him to detect people and objects far away. We have Slam Tasmanian, who is the brute of the group. He still talks like Taz does, so in other words, he is hard to understand and a bit simple-minded like that, so there's not much to say about him really. He has superhuman strength, the ability to spin with a tornado, which isn't exactly spectacular for a Tassie, I would think. They can also shoot out tornado blasts from his hands. Then we got Danger Duck, who just goes by Duck most of the show. He is very up himself and a jokester of the team. Mostly because he gets hurt a lot or does stupid stuff. I didn't like him very much. He just gets so annoying most of the time. He's just so up himself and wants people to worship him pretty much. And it gets old pretty fast. It gets old real fast. His powers allow him to make little fireballs he can throw and he can teleport. So that's the characters of the show, and overall, I liked them enough. As I mentioned, Techie and Web were my favourite. I like that dude, and the voice actors did a good job at portraying him. In fact, most of the voice actors do a pretty good job. I mean, in the end, it's a Looney Tunes voice actors for the most part. So, yeah, what do you expect? So anyway, the plot of the show follows these 5 heroes and their boss Sadavia, who is like the Zordon for Power Rangers in this show. She basically just tells them what's going on and to go deal with it, as it's not only them who ended up getting superpowers from that meteorite that crashed down. And so honestly, my thoughts on it, it's not bad. I really enjoyed the first season. The second season I'll talk about soon enough, but we'll talk about the first now. I liked the villains that they faced. They weren't part of the Looney Tunes universe. They were just part of this show, making them their own characters. And each one was different and didn't make the show feel repetitive or just annoying. The action was generally pretty good. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but it felt like watching like an old Street Sharks or even Ninja Turtles or something. Just Looney Tunes characters instead. Which I understand, that in itself is a killer for people. People just don't think, oh yeah, that's just dumb. But it works. I thought it actually worked pretty well. For the most part, I was able to put the whole Looney Tunes part of it aside and just watch it as a show it was. And that it was like meant to be. So by doing that, I was able to enjoy it. So if it was just like this, if the show was just going to be like this, I think it would have been pretty good. Like, I enjoyed the first season, if that's all we got out of it. I have to give it a solid 7 out of 10 foxes. Like, honestly, like, yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed the first season of it. But then we go to the second season. The second season is where it falls flat. Because they made it too Looney Tunes. The animation takes a drop in quality, and then they bring in other Looney Tunes characters. Though in Season 1, you did see Foghorn Leghorn, who was a human. Yes, Foghorn Leghorn was a human. That means somewhere back in the Looney Tunes timeline, a human yiffed a chicken. Yeah. Damn furries. So yeah, that was a little odd, but whatever, I could just, yeah, put it aside. But it only gets worse in the second season. Season 2, one of the villains is Pierre Le Pew, descendant of Pepe. And he is also a human. So, a human yiffed a skunk. Damn furries. Just, yeah, and he also stinks because of his perfume. It was so dumb. He's human and a villain. I like Pepe Le Pew. I like him. And yeah, in this, he's human. He still stinks because of perfume. And he's a villain. It was just, what? At least Yosemite Sam is pretty much the same, though he's like called Ophistius Sam, Ophistius Sam. Let's go with that. Ophistius Sam. Because I can't read that word. He was accurate enough to his character, just a little bit more futuristic and shite, but he's pretty much exactly the same. We also have the Royal Treatums, aka Tweety Bird, and dear God, he is the worst character in the show. Just so damn annoying. I hate him. But I did like that Granny was in it as like Queen Granicius, and there was a nice twist in there, I will just say, that if you ever feel like watching a show. And of course Sylvester is in there as Sylvester, which I didn't mind how he's big and bulky and everything. Fairies. I'm not a fairy. But you find out how much of a dick Treatums is and what he did to Sylvester, and it's messed up. It's really messed up, and it makes me just hate him more in this show. We also have Electro J Fudd, Melvin the Martian, Stoney and Bugsy, Gorlop, and Pigster Pig. Pigster Pig turns out is a villain. Yeah, Porky Pig becomes a villain. Was an interesting twist, but still, what? What? Okay, what? The problem is just how dumb this show becomes. Because it keeps on adding the other Looney Tunes characters into the show, and just starts to feel like some odd superhero show with Looney Tunes characters. Like what everyone says about it. But when you're watching the first season, it feels like its own show. But now it just completely loses its identity, and I can see why it didn't go on for any more seasons. Honestly, I struggled to get through the second season, so to me, the second season is a 4 out of 10 foxes. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. It had a moment here and there, like I said. Like, I liked the main villains. Because, yeah, they had, like, the Looney Tunes villains come in now and then. But the second season also had its own villains, which were only part of this show's universe. And I liked them. I liked the main villain. I could totally cosplay him. Because I have that kind of hair. And yeah, I liked a lot the main villains. I liked the main story. It was just all the Looney Tunes characters that I thought was just overplayed and just a little bit dumb. It just ruined the identity of the show. It was just ruined by the focus of the characters everyone knows, and seeing them in such a different way was a little odd. They just overdid it in the second season. But overall, I say, watch the first season, and if you're a huge fan of Looney Tunes, then go ahead and watch the second season. It's not overall that bad. Just to me got a little stale. Like there's an episode where Webb invites Tech over to his parents to help him build stuff, and lots of old jokes take place, like Tech falling to his death over a cliff multiple times, making it feel like an old cartoon. But it feels so out of place here, though, and that's the big problem. When they do the old jokes, it feels out of place. It just feels out of place in the universe they tried to create. It's a shame, really, because I love the overall designs of the main heroes, and the concept wasn't so bad. Like, I know some think it is, but it's not a bad concept. It's kind of cool. Overall, my thought on the show, it's hard to give it an overall score, because I liked the first season, but I did struggle to get through the second. But I still enjoyed the overall villains of the show. The characters that were just in this universe, I did like them. So, I think overall, I'm gonna actually give this a 6 out of 10 foxes. Like, I did enjoy it. I was pleasantly surprised by it. Do I recommend this? I recommend the first season for sure, and if you love Looney Tunes, then yeah, definitely watch the second season as well, because you'll probably enjoy that. Like I said, it just got a little stale for me, because I haven't watched like Looney Tunes in years and years and years, and so, but I knew all the jokes, all the sayings and all that, so it was just kind of, it felt a little outdated, but you might still enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, why not give it a like? And subscribe to my channel, because I'll love you if you do. And hit that little bell icon to get notified as to when I upload videos. Alright guys, bye for now. Ow, ow. Duck is a joke character that gets beat around a lot, for example. Though they do very much act the same, Duck is Guardian strike sword to kick some butt. Get that butt. I did it. Now, something that was a bit different was that he actually talked. Both him and Webb both so they both spoke, which I obviously can't do. Both him and Webb both ha ha ha, like because of being able to flap his wings so incredible that